Would you rather have hands for feet or feet for hands? I think it's an obvious answer, but I don't know. Which one would you pick? I think the answer is really obvious, actually. That's not even a hands for feet or feet for hands. Like, dude, it's not even close, actually. Like, why would anyone pick feet for hands? You have a no, dude, no. You don't have a fetish for your own feet. That's disgusting. No one with a foot fetish has their own, is like a fetish for their own feet. Oh my god, dude. That's too much. If you had feet for hands, you couldn't play video games. Like, what the fuck would you do? It's not like it's gonna give you an advantage in like snowboarding or something. Like, you wouldn't be able to drive cars very easily. Like, it would just be a big pain in the ass. But if you had hands for feet, I mean, sure, like running would be a pain in the ass. But I guess your risks, because like, think about it. If you had hands for feet, like this thing right here would normally be an ankle, right? But it's not. It's a fucking wrist. So like, wait, is it? Or is your hand attached to your ankle? Well, anyways, if this was a wrist, you'd be putting a lot of strain on your wrist, and it would actually become very fragile, and like you would do a lot of damage to your wrists, and then you might get carpal tunnel on your fucking wrists, on your feet. I don't know. I just feel like that situation is terrible. Yeah, you'd have to be like climbing through trees and shit, but you wouldn't be able to be walking. That's what I'm saying. If you had hands for feet, like running would be really hard because you'd have fucking wrists for ankles. But if your hands were attached to your ankles, then I guess it'd be okay. Also, like, I don't know about you, but if my hand is in this shape for too long, it feels very cramped. And I just feel like sticking my hand in a shoe like that is gonna make my hands feel really uncomfortable. So it's got its own set of problems too. Maybe I would just sit in a wheelchair all day or something, or like one of those scooters, then just push myself around. You'd wear gloves instead of shoes. There's so many problems with hands for feet and feet for hands. I think there's a reason why we have feet that are different than our hands. Would even having 4 hands be advantageous for me? Like, imagine if I'm sitting here trying to game, right? And I'm like fucking, like, imagine if I had my feet up like that. Like, I just, that's not even comfortable, you know? Like, would it even be useful to have hands for feet? And maybe there's just like, maybe I just can't even fathom. Like, maybe my brain just can't even imagine. It's just like imagining living in a world with flying cars. Like, you can imagine what a flying car would be, but you can't even think of what the world with a flying car would even look like, you know? If I actually had hands for feet, like, there's so many things that I would have never thought of, you know? Like, for example, like sometimes when I'm talking to my mom on the phone, she's kind of just like talking, so I get kind of bored. I'll like put her on speaker so I can like play games while I'm talking to her. But if I had hands for feet, would I stick the phone in my foot and stick it up to my ear so I could like talk to my mom? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of like when this would be useful. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't, I just don't even see why this would even be useful, actually. Now that I think about it, I thought it'd be so obvious to want hands for feet. But now I'm like, well, I mean, feet for hands is completely shit. But like, I don't know, man. Like, what would I even do with feet for hands? Like, it's not like I'm gonna start feeding myself with my hand feet. You know, I'm gonna use my normal hands still. I don't know. Would you rather have nipples for dicks or dicks for nipples? You can't just like ask this question about everything. Oh, would you rather have eyeballs for toenails or toenails for eyeballs? Like, that question isn't as good. To your point, like, feet for hands is kind of shit. So it's really more interesting for me to contemplate hands for feet than it is for me to contemplate feet for hands, because feet for hands is so useless. Feet for hands is absolutely terrible. So bad. Oh shit, I got you, bro. You're saying I would just be chilling back here like on the phone with my mom, and then my foot would just be like playing TF2 over here. That'd be fucking hilarious. Yeah, you know there's people in the world that have 6 fingers on one hand? I don't know. Does anyone in chat have 6 fingers on one hand? Let me know, because I wanna know what that's like. Deep wank. That's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of having 13 fingers. You think deep wank. Oh my god, dude. You're fucking disgusting. Cray, shut up. You don't have 11 fingers. Do you really? Get out of here, Cray. I don't believe you. Take a picture. You have 8. Shut up, guys. I don't even believe you anymore. You're all just trolling. You can get one of those pop socket things to add to your phone and put it between your toes. Oh my god. See. Would you rather have dicks for fingers or fingers for a dick? Dude, you know that thing when you like stick your finger in a girl? You know, if it's a penis, like it doesn't have that much control, right? But if you imagine if you stuck your finger in there as your penis, like she probably feel things that she's never felt before in her life. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, bro. Obviously, dicks for fingers is complete shit. I like how every one of these is like, would you rather have eyeballs for toenails or toenails for eyeballs? One of them is complete shit and the other one is like mildly interesting. One of them is complete bogus, like completely not worth it in any way. One of them is always just not good at all. Dicks for fingers, like how is that? Why would I want that? Oh my god. Dicks for fingers is not even, that doesn't make any sense. Like why would anyone want that? There's no use for having that. Like it's not useful. Like your penis is extremely sensitive. It's got a lot of nerve endings. And then like it's not like always like, look at my fingers. I can do this whenever I want. Like if I had a penis for fingers, it'd be like kind of drooping all the time with like no bones inside of it, and then it would like randomly get like hard, like and like different fingers. Like it's just completely useless. Like one of them is completely useless and the other one is useful as fuck. I'm just saying, bro, like all of these, one of them is completely terrible every time. Yeah, finger dick is obviously better. Finger dick is kind of like mildly interesting to think about how you'd use that, but like dick fingers doesn't make any sense. No one would choose that. Your fingers are just randomly getting hard and not. Oh my god, dude. When you scratch an itch, you also get erect. That's a pog in my eyes. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. If you had dick fingers and they were like, for lack of a better term, flaccid for like, I don't know, 80% of the day, right? You can't like have like a 4-hour boner, right? Then you have to, you're supposed to call a doctor when you have a 4-hour boner. Your fingers are probably flaccid like 96% of the day. Let's call it hard for 2 hours of the day and like flaccid for like 22 hours a day. So 22 hours a day. Your fingers are completely dog shit useless. Like it doesn't make any sense. You'd be taking so much Viagra. What are you talking about, bro? You'd be having too much Viagra. Like it's probably gonna give you a heart attack. That's a health risk. That's a huge problem. Like there's just a ton of problems with that. No one in their right mind should ever choose dick fingers unless they want to be some kind of like sideshow freak. Now at the next Barnum and Bailey circus, Mousy and his dick fingers. Dude, that is so true actually. If you had dick fingers, you would empty your bladder so quickly. I don't know, but I don't know about you guys. Maybe this is TMI, so tell me this is TMI. You know when you pee and then like you have to like shake your dick a little bit because there's like some extra pee in there that you gotta just get out? You know what I mean? Like if you peed out of 10 fingers, like you maybe like randomly be dripping like urine. That's kind of nasty. If you had dicks for fingers, you probably couldn't have a normal job. I can't think of a job that you'd be able to do with dick fingers unless you're like at a call center, maybe like a translator, like a tour guide, maybe. Like it'd be really hard because like a lot of jobs require fingers. Porn star. Yeah, but like I think people would be like mildly intrigued at first and then at some point it would just become like unrelatable and like kind of disgusting. Okay, so there's this thing on Reddit. I'm not encouraging you to look at this if you know you don't have to look at this, but there's a thing on Reddit of this dude with 2 dicks. Have you seen this? Have you seen that thing on Reddit with the guy with 2 penises? So then you'd be like, okay, well, what does a guy do with 2 penises, right? And you're like, well, I mean, I guess he goes into pornography. And then at first you're like, okay, I guess so. Yeah, like it'd be intriguing. And then at some point you're just like, that's kind of disgusting. I don't really want to see that. You know, I want to see something more relatable. Like I only have 1 penis, so I kind of want to see the 1 penis porno. And then I don't know, I just feel like that guy would be out of business pretty quick. What if you had dicks for fingers, but you can control them like tentacles? Nah, dude, you're just changing the rules. Now you don't have dicks for fingers anymore. Now you have tentacles for fingers. That's completely different. Tentacles for fingers. You're talking about some like cross animal type capabilities. All right, let me ask you this one. Would you rather have tentacles for fingers or a kangaroo pouch? What the hell is a fupa? Kangaroo pouch? Okay, I think people are just choosing kangaroo pouch because it's easily hidden underneath your pants, underneath your shirt. So no one would even know that you had to have like this weird kangaroo pouch. What would you put in your kangaroo pouch? That's kind of useful. It's like an extra pocket. My kangaroo pouch is my bra. Oh yeah, that's true. I've seen girls put like cell phones in there and stuff. Does it have to be a kangaroo pouch? Well, I think the point is that it's kind of like massive. You know what I mean? Like it's not just like a pocket. Like a kangaroo pouch goes all the way from your like basically the base of your penis up to like actually goes right like it goes like base of your penis to like a little bit above your belly button. Like that's a big ass pouch. It kind of gets in the way, you know? Like it's you can store something big in it like a TV or something. There's a lot of stuff you can put in there. Yeah, it's got to be retractable. Exactly. It's not a fanny pack. A fanny pack is very tiny in comparison, and it's also on like this is like a massive fanny pack, you know? Imagine the nightmare of cleaning your pouch. Exactly. Yes. See, this is exactly the shit I'm talking about. This is exactly when you say that I want hands for feet. You're like, of course I want hands for feet. Hands for feet is way better than feet for hands. And then you start thinking about it and then you start realizing, wait a second, hands for feet has a bunch of problems. Kangaroo pouch sounds really good at first. And then you realize, wait a second, like it probably gets really sweaty in there. Like I got to clean it out. It's probably just like collecting like moisture at the bottom of it all the time. Like how do you empty it out? Like what are you going to do? Turn yourself sideways? Like no, you're going to like bring napkins with you all the time or like stuff like an inner lining in there all the time to soak up all your sweat. I don't know, man. Like, what do you really even need to put in there? Anyways, it's probably just getting in your way. How do kangaroos deal with it? Aren't they furry? Aren't kangaroos just nasty creatures? They just walk around being nasty. I don't know. Sounds like you've been weighing the pros and cons of a kangaroo pouch for a while now. Now you're asking if you should commit. You would fill your pouch with drinks and slurp it with a straw. Yeah, but the thing is like, okay, so your drink, like imagine if you got like a big gulp. You know what I mean? The pouch is actually kind of wide, so like there's a pretty high chance that it like tips over or spills. And then now you have a sticky, like imagine if like you put like a Coca-Cola in there or something. Now you have a sticky inner pouch. The type of drink that you put in there has to be like more like a what are those things that you put in Camelback? You know those Camelbacks? Like there's like a backpack that you wear the water bottle on your back, where it's like a pouch that you stick inside of your pouch to hold liquid. Imagine all the women that you'd be able to get with tentacle fingers. Don't people have like a thing for tentacles? Tentacles is like a fetish thing, right? Like tentacles is like a thing. Like imagine if you had tentacle fingers. Someone out there is really into that shit, you know what I mean? You don't want a tentacle inside of me? I mean, maybe you don't, but someone out there does. Someone out there is like, yo, dude, I want that tentacle deep. I want to partner with tentacle fingers. Kangaroos aren't nasty, I'll fight you. You know what I just realized? If you had a kangaroo pouch and the pouch was made out of skin, right? We talked about how it's made out of skin. Then the outer skin, like let's say you're on the beach and you're trying to get a suntan, the pouch would be really tan, but then you'd open it and the inside would be like very, very pale. I don't know why. I think it's hilarious. You just have this really pale area inside your pouch. Just get a mirror. Oh yeah, of course. Why didn't I think of that? Yeah, that's right. When you go to a tanning salon, you have to be like, yo, I need a little tanner for the inside of my pouch. Kangaroo pouch tan. Wait, let's go back to the tentacle fingers for a second. Don't tentacles dry out? So you would need to keep your tentacle fingers like moist, like all the time. You know what I mean? And to do that, you would need like, I'm just thinking, you would need to like carry a little like a little holster of like spritz water and then just like spritz water on your hands all the time. Yeah, you would need to like occasionally like keep your hands like damp. You would need to carry little buckets of water on you that you'd stick your fingers in every once in a while. But the benefit is that you get this like really sick suction power. There's probably a rock climber out there who's like, yo, I want tentacle fingers right now. Like that'd be such a huge advantage in rock climbing actually. Would you rather have hands for fingers or feet for fingers? Hands for fingers? Wait, Mousy, I have a question for you. If I choose... Yes, exactly, Paulin. I was gonna ask the same question. I was just about to ask that. If you had hands for fingers, would the fingers on that hand be fingers or hands? Oh my god, I'm dying.